In the beginning, a boy is seen watching cartoons on TV, but suddenly all the TV signals are turned off and only a news broadcast is being broadcasted everywhere about how an unknown virus is destroying the world. People are infected with the virus and are biting each other, so all the people should lock everything in their houses and be safe. Now these children go to their mother to tell her about all this, but on the road, he sees his older sister Abigail, and the two of them go to her mother and see that her mother is already tense. Their mother hurriedly packs all the things and starts calling their father. Their father wakes up, a pilot, and he tells them on the phone that the zombie virus is spreading rapidly everywhere, so they should not wait to return to his house but should leave the city with his child right now. However, by now they hear people screaming outside. So the three of them carefully get into the car and start leaving. He attacks the children's mother. Little Abigail gets scared and goes under the car where his mother is a zombie in front of his eyes. He bites his brother to death, although he leaves without noticing the zombie Abigail, but their mother, who has also turned into a zombie after being bitten by a zombie, sees Abigail under the car and comes to bite him. Then an ex-soldier, Jack, comes from behind and kills them. He saves Abigail. Jack knew that Abigail's brother would also become a zombie, so Jack shoots him and kills him. Now, 10 years after this incident, the scene is seen. By now, all the people may have died or are wandering around as zombies. The big cities are now turning into jungles. Now, in this post-apocalyptic world, there are very few people like Jack and Abigail who have survived the zombies so far. Jack has raised Abigail since that day, so he is teaching Abigail to survive in the present world, hunting animals from the jungle and getting out of the crowd of zombies, etc. Abigail is slowly learning many things. If Jack had not come into his life that day, if he had not lived, Jack would have been equal to his father. Now, when they were sleeping, Jack suddenly heard someone's voice. Jack realized that it was a zombie who had entered their place, so he came in front of it and killed the zombie with a headshot. Now, with 10 years of experience, they have understood well how zombies do not live alone but in groups. That is, there are more zombies in this area, so they have to leave this place as soon as possible. The zombies that are in the present world are not like before, but over time, they have changed themselves a lot. Before, they had no sense. They only move like living corpses. The current zombies, on the contrary, now have their own intelligence through which they can sense the presence of people and find them. Meanwhile, Abigail and Jack spent the night there. Then in the morning, they packed all their belongings and left for a new place. They used horses for transportation. This time, after going a long way, when they came to a mountain, they saw a survivor where that they were firing at them to escape from the zombies. Now that there are very few normal people in the world, they start shooting zombies from above to help them. Jack has taught Abigail how to shoot. Today will be the test. Abigail shoots each of his targets very carefully, but he should shoot only when Jack tells him to. But Abigail, in his hurry, forgets and hits the zombie as well as the person. Jack gets very angry at Abigail. After killing the zombies here, they somehow go to the person from a distance. The man was hit in the chest and there was so much blood loss that they could not save the person even if they wanted to. The person was struggling, so Jack could not bear this pain and killed him. After killing him, they took out all the essential items from his car, which are worth gold these days, but they do not know that this man has more friends. And then 3 cars come there and shoot their friends. Seeing the sword marks, they realize that their friend was not killed by a zombie, but by Jack and Abigail. They point guns at them and ask everyone why they did this. Now, a pregnant woman named Megan and her husband are in their group. They were in the car with David and wanted to shoot Jack because they felt that they had killed one of their comrades to rob them of their belongings. However, Jack and Abigail tried to convince them with their guns that they had not killed the man on purpose, but rather that they had wanted to save him. In addition, they had to get out of here now because all the zombie groups around had heard the sound of their guns and were coming here, but none of the team wanted to listen to them, but they were constantly arguing with them. In a short time, it was seen that there were hundreds of zombies coming at a very fast speed, not only from one side but from all sides, so they had no choice but to run here. Although each of them had tools to protect themselves, they could not cope with so many zombies together. On top of that, these zombies had a lot of strength and speed, so instead of attacking one zombie, Another one came and jumped in. In the end, except for Jack and Abigail, David and Megan were the only survivors in the group, and the four of them got into a car and fled from here. Their car breaks down in the middle, but the good news is that they have come a long way. Jack tells David and Megan that they will separate from here, now that their group has died because of their own mistakes, so Jack takes some songs from them and starts moving forward with Abigail, but after a while it is seen that Megan and David are following them, meaning that they want to be with them now, but Jack and Abigail do not object to this. After a short break, we are going back to the main video. Playing games is not only fun, but also a huge income opportunity. Most Play has taken great offers and endless possibilities. Most Play is the most fun and trusted gaming platform in Bangladesh and India. Register here and get 500 Taka free bonus. Refer your friends and get unlimited 12,000 Taka bonus. Special gift from Most Play on your birthday. Review up to 2,000 Taka on Facebook. Get 200 Taka bonus. 10% weekly cashback on Abigail games and 5% unlimited deposit. Bonus 650% salt boost up to 13,000 Taka daily. 30% sports reload bonus up to 4,000 Taka. Fastest and safest transactions in Bangladesh. You can easily deposit and withdraw with Bcash Nagad Rocket method, so go to pin comment and register Most Play now. Don't miss the opportunity of Then they all walked a long way together. After walking for a long time, they all reached a small town-like place where there was a place to stay. They did not have shelter there tonight, but because they had not eaten all day, they were all very hungry, so first they all ate a little food, then they went to the place where they took shelter and set a trap around the place so that any zombie would actually get trapped in the trap and they would understand that a zombie had come here. Then they all started making a plan together. Jack shows them a map and told them how they should go to a board camp a little far from here where many survivors live together now, since Megan will soon give birth to a baby, so they should go to that camp. David also helped Megan a little bit. Jack said that he couldn't help them more than that for now. When Jack left, Abigail followed him. He was very angry with Jack because he knew that David wouldn't be able to take Megan to the camp alone, so Jack should help them. Jack tried to convince him that they should think about their own security from time to time today. They couldn't put themselves at risk for someone else. They would be separated from David and Megan in the morning. On the other hand, it was raining heavily outside and many zombies were tracking them. They had come to the car they had abandoned in the middle of the forest, and now they were coming to where Jack had originally taken refuge because the zombies were now very clever. They could easily figure out where people lived. In the morning, Abigail got upset and went to the roof of the house and sat down. But after a while, it was seen that two zombies came behind Abigail and attacked her. However, Jack had taught Abigail everything, so he killed one zombie and ran away from the other and wished that he would be able to escape. Jack brought the zombie behind him and threw him down from a corner. He was happy that Abigail was learning well, but they were quick. They have to get out of here because some of the other zombies are coming this way. They were lucky. Those zombies ended up stuck in the trap and all four were able to get out of here. Here, David kept asking Jack for help to take them to that camp, and Abigail gave him the idea. Since he used to live in this city, he knows that there is an airport a little far from here where there are many small helicopters. So if they go there and find a good helicopter, they can get help from it. But Jack doubts firstly whether there is any plane or helicopter in good condition, and secondly why would they take such a big risk for these two. Abigail says that they will keep this plane for themselves, which will be useful to them later. Jack understands that if Abby goes, he will not move forward without helping the couple, so despite themselves, they move forward for the plane. On the road, they find a car in which they start taking Megan with the help of a wheelchair, and in a very short time they reach the airport. And fortunately, after entering the airport, they find out they were very happy to get the passenger plane, but the plane was not starting, so David was trying to start the plane. On the other hand, Jack and Abigail came to a very tall building where there was a huge watchtower. From there, they saw what the situation of the zombies around was like. On the other hand, David, despite trying a lot, could not start the plane's engine. He was very angry with himself and was hitting himself. Meanwhile, in the watchtower, Abigail saw with the help of a telescope that there were hundreds of zombies in a place far away from them. and those zombies were basically running towards them. The number of these zombies was so high that they could not deal with them even if they wanted to. So they quickly went down and warned David and Megan that they had to get out of here, but the plane had not started yet. So Jack's Abigail came there and started shooting the zombies. At the very last moment, when the zombies reached them, the plane finally started. The four of them sat in the plane. The plane started to take off, but since the speed of the plane was very low, many zombies had already reached them. Jack tried to avoid them by making the plane swerve from inside, but even then a zombie reached the gate, but just as the zombie was about to attack them, Jack shot him down and finally they were able to take off their plane. Then they started heading towards the camp through that plane, but after a while they saw that since the plane's engine was 10 years old, when it was started, the temperature of its main engine increased a lot and within a while the main engine exploded and a lot of smoke started coming out of the engine. Jaco and his team got very scared and suddenly their plane started crashing downwards. Jack cleverly crashed the plane straight into a tree so that no one was hurt and his plan was successful. The four of them got out safely, although it was getting late and they had to find a safe place to spend the night quickly. They took shelter in an abandoned factory and looked at the map. He calculates that it will take 2 more days to reach their camp, meaning that the boat camp is now far away, but still, Jack tells David and Megan that no matter how far the boat camp is, he will definitely get them there. Jack actually feels sorry for David and Megan. He wants to show himself as tough as he is in front of everyone, but he is just a soft-hearted on the inside. Then Jack gives Megan some food to eat and he tells Megan that there is a very tragic reason behind his behavior, which is that about 10 years ago, when the zombie virus spread all over the world, only his wife was in his life. When Jack heard about the virus, he quickly went to save his wife, but before he could reach his wife had completely turned into a zombie. His wife was about to attack Jack. At another stage, he was forced to kill his wife. That was the most terrible incident in his life. Since then, he could not forgive himself in any way. He always felt like an animal. But since a vehicle came into his life, he's slowly changing himself as if he were only a vehicle. The vehicle is now everything to him, so he doesn't want to put a vehicle in any kind of danger. He is ready to do everything to keep her safe. Meanwhile, Megan's husband David decides to go to a place and end himself with the song in his head. From here, it is revealed that he has already been infected with a zombie, so he is turning into a zombie, although the infection was very small. So the rate of his transformation was very slow. Although he does not kill himself, he is not decisive. He will take his wife Megan to the camp and move away. Then, if he ends himself, maybe he can die in peace. If he converts to a zombie before that, he will immediately end himself there. Now, the next morning, they leave the factory and head for the camp. They were walking quietly through the middle of a forest, but David's body condition was gradually deteriorating. They were having a hard time walking. Then, he hides the fact that he has become infected from everyone. However, even though no one understands this, Jack suspects David. It seemed that David might be hiding something from them, so when Abigail moved forward with Megan, David pulled Jack from behind and brought him to the other side. Jack said, "I knew right away that you were turning into a zombie." But David convinced him that he would not hurt anyone. He just wanted to send Megan to a safe place, so Jack gave him a chance. Then they went forward and saw a house with lights on, which meant that someone was here. Jack first went forward and started to confirm everything to see if there was any danger here. But seeing Megan's condition, Abigail took the risk and went ahead in front of the house, loudly asking for help, saying that they were not a danger to them. They were just seeking shelter for one night because they had a pregnant woman with them. Hearing this, a man named Norda came out with a song. He put a condition in front of everyone, that he would give shelter, but they would have to leave them outside. Now the Jacks had no other choice, so they also agreed to this condition. Then Norden welcomed them all. He brought them inside and started talking about himself. Norden said that he was once a big name. There was a scientist, so his house still has electricity, and that's why he has various things scattered throughout his house. Then Norden gave them all food to eat, and all the food here was very expensive food that none of them had eaten anywhere in the world for a long time, so they were all eating like crazy here. And after eating, Norden also brought them very expensive drinks. Seeing this, They were all surprised at how Norden has all this in such a situation in the world. Norden says that how he is getting all this food now through his research. He produces everything inside his house. Norden also says that before the zombie virus came, he moved to the house because he did not like the noise of people at all, so he deliberately made his home in the deep forest and has been living for many years. Even after the zombie virus came, his life did not change much, but he sees the zombie virus in a very positive way because people have become very selfish. They used to kill each other for their own interests without any reason, even people for their own interests. The zombies that were causing damage to the world are now creating a green environment all around. Everything is becoming pure here. According to Norden, they are the updated version of zombie people. They do not fight for development but for their own food. Now the tigers are angry after hearing Norden that how can a person call such a world good? They only have to spend one night here, so they do not say anything. Now David makes an excuse and goes to the bathroom because by now the zombie virus has spread throughout his body. David returns to normal again, but surprisingly, his three companions are unconscious and Norden is standing in front of them. David gets very scared. Meanwhile, Norden says that he will try his new invasion on them now. Norden had a special device in his hand and through this device he controls the zombies. Since David was a half zombie, he cannot do anything to Norden because of that device. He cannot even go near Norden. Norden has actually made this device through many years of research, in which there was a part like radiation that made zombies unable to get close to this device, which meant that he would now be the king of the whole world with the help of it and would be able to control everything. He tied the four of them up in the basement and after a while when everyone came to their senses, Norden revealed to them how his wife had long since become a zombie. In fact, Norden fed every survivor who came here his wife so that his wife would live and experimented on his wife to create the device with which he would now be able to control every zombie and with the help of this, he would soon rule the whole world. Megan finally finds out that her husband is infected and David was hiding this from everyone. Now Norden takes his wife out of the case and orders her to go to the four and eat them. Although Norden didn't notice this, Jack and Abel are good fighters, so when Norden's wife tried to bite them, they all started attacking Norden's wife with their feet. In the meantime, David frees himself and kills Norden's wife directly, freeing his companions. Jack hungrily goes to kill Norden, but Norden manages to escape through the back road. The four finally leave the house with their belongings. They find Norden's car outside, which they use to reach their destination, but when they hear the sound of the car, many zombies chase them and they have to stop their car at a place to escape. They all try to shoot and repel the zombies, but the zombies gradually become so numerous that it was no use moving, so David then turns the zombies toward him. He decides to attract and he tells the rest to run away from there because he will turn into a zombie anyway, but at that time a zombie comes from behind him and kills him there. Jack then takes Megan in his arms and moves forward and Abby is trying to stop the zombies on the bike and after running almost all the way on the road, they come very close to the board camp. Then Jack and Abigail shout for help from the soldiers there because many zombies are coming towards them. The soldiers also hear their voices in a short time. There were two snipers in the boat camp and they started to resist the zombies from a distance, and because there is a river in the middle of the boat camp, a boat comes to pick them up, as a result of which finally all three of them enter the camp. The survivors here live in a giant ship. Megan could also be delivered here. In the morning, the scientist Norden is seen, who was very angry at the dead zombies around. Jack's group is killing all the zombies with his wife, with the help of Norden. Norden, who used to dream of ruling the world, now goes to the rest of the zombies and controls them so that he can attack the camp with them. On the other hand, Jack thanks the leader of this camp because he is giving Megan many privileges. Jack tells Megan that their mission is complete so they will leave from here tomorrow morning because he wants to keep Abigail in this camp and make her weak. Although Abigail is angry because she wants to stay here anyway, she has been moving around with Jack for the last 10 years. Now while they are arguing, a woman comes and reveals how Megan has finally given birth to a healthy baby, but her own physical condition is very bad and she has a chance of surviving until the evening. Jack meets Megan where Megan is happy that her baby will see this world, and before she dies, she gives the responsibility of her baby to Jack. On the other hand, Ebikal is befriended by the rest of the camp and a boy shows Ebikal an emergency exit. If there is ever a zombie attack here, everyone can get out through this exit. It is morning now. Norden brings all the zombies into Shiva with the help of the device, and as soon as he gives the order, the zombies start biting all the people in the camp. Jack and Ebikal are taking out Shiva's survivors together. Norden, who has reached here after them, punches Ebikal and tells the zombies to go towards Jack, which causes Jack to fall into a hole, but he kills the zombie despite being injured. Norden arrives there and starts beating Jack, although Jack had other plans. Taking advantage of the opportunity, punches Norden and hits the device in his hand so that he cannot control the zombie. After hitting it many times, the device finally breaks. All the zombies that Norden has brought here attack Norden and finish him off. Meanwhile, while escaping from the zombie, Ebikal sees a band with her name on it in the hand of a zombie and sees the photo in the zombie's pocket. She realizes that it is her real father who was their hometown boy 10 years ago. He asked to leave,